Learners, welcome to today's lesson. This is a series of revision questions that are adopted from past papers of KCSE. We have been looking at the topic, the cell physiology. We looked at the various physiological processes, that is osmosis, diffusion, and active transport. We have been using questions in the past papers, and most of them were questions based on the learner answering questions in various ways. Today we want to look at another technique of answering questions by using the graphs. And before we do that, there are very important things that the learner should be able to know about graphs. And they are as follows. So we have the use of graph. And graphs are normally used in interpreting data, interpretation of data. And data is a collection of information in form of results which are gathered through experimentation, and they are normally recorded. And after recording, the next stage is normally what we call analysis of the data. And one way of analyzing data is by use of graphs. So, and as we shall see later, the data, most cases, can be collected by help of things like tables, charts, and devices. So we want to look at the areas that the learner must be able to understand before interpreting data using graphs. So the first area is choice of scale. Choice of scale. So there are a few things that the learner should consider while choosing the scale. We have two parts of the graph. We have the horizontal axis and the vertical axis. So under the scale, the learner must consider horizontal axis and then also should look at the vertical axis. This horizontal axis is the one that referred to as the x-axis, and this one is referred to as the y-axis. Now, the scale, there are aspects of the scale that also need to be taken into account. One of them is consistency. The scale must be consistent. So we have the scale must be consistent. Consistent or consistency means that from one interval to the next, it must be consistent throughout, from the minimum point to the maximum point. We shall look at that as we look at an example of a question. Then two, the learner should also be able to have the scale accommodating the minimum point and maximum point. So that scale must accommodate minimum and maximum points. So if the data is collected in a table, the learner can just look at the table and see which one is the minimum point. The minimum point is not necessarily 0. There is some data where the minimum point might be way above 0. Then while identifying the axis on the graph paper, the learner should indicate the axis by use of an arrow. So the arrows are used. So use arrows to indicate the two axes. We are also going to give an example of that. Then the next aspect of a graph that must be considered after choosing the scale is labeling. Labeling the graph. So the graph is labeled. The graph is labeled by just looking at the variables. We have got two variables that we always use on the x-axis, on y-axis. Normally, the x-axis will indicate there the independent variable, while on the y-axis you will indicate the dependent variable. So we shall look at those variables. So here, the labeling must be indicated. So you indicate labeling on both axes, because those are marking points on both axes. And then units should be indicated. Units should be indicated as given maybe in the table, exactly the way they are given in the table. If the units are wrongly written, then the learner is penalized. The third aspect is plotting. Plotting now the points on the graph once you have identified the scale. So we have the plotting of points. So the points are plotted, you plot them, plotted using a dot. So you use a dot or an X. And while using a dot or an X, they must be big enough so that once the curve has been joined or the line has been joined, the plots should be visible so that the examiner will be able to mark them and see them. So plots are also marked. Then lastly, we have the last bit of the graph. And this bit, it is important to note that it can be either a curve or a line graph. So we have got curves. So we have got curves or line graphs. So that will be arrived at based on how the points have been plotted. So a line graph is where the points are lying in a line. They might not be all the points, but they could be several points that are lying in a line, and this one you use a ruler. So for the case of a line graph, so you use a ruler. But in biology, most of the graphs are curves, and if it's a curve, you join the points by using the free hand. So you just use the free hand to join the points. Faintly, then you will achieve that. So these are the 4 aspects of the graph.